Just thought that was our most complete game we've played this year. Just saw where we made plays in all three phases, special teams wise. No big issue that we're concerned about. And we actually got the return game going and kickoff return, and flipped the field punt team. So I thought kickoff teams played great all year long defensively, created turnovers, stubborn against the run. I think really until we started making a lot of substitutions and had some mechanical problems with some guys that don't play a lot of snaps. And then obviously offensively, up and through the third quarter until we started really subbing there, I thought they played very solid. We'd been able to move the chains on third down, something we'd struggled to do, 7 of 7 in the red zone, which was really another area that's been a point of emphasis. And kind of taking what they give you, throwing the ball when they make you. They're blitzing a lot to stop the run, and we took advantage of it and threw and caught the ball really, really well. Don't think they ever got to Justice. I know they got to Chad one time on a blitz in 5-man protection, but up to that point, we'd protected Justice really well, and he'd made really good decisions all night long. So I thought we improved. It took a step in the right direction. I still think we got better football ahead of us, which hopefully we can take another step this next week, even being on a short week at Georgia State.
Had trouble running the ball. Pretty much they were designed to take it away. Is that what you think?
Well, they played the safeties extremely low. That's why we were able to shoot, throw the ball over the top a few times, and they were blitzing a lot to stop. A lot of edge pressure, a lot of bare front with guys running through the gaps. I think to design the run, they've struggled to stop the run all year, and it just allowed us to throw and catch some balls, and it also created some problems for them matching up with people out of the backfield. We had a couple uncovereds out of the backfield where they just didn't have anybody accounting for them, and I think most of that goes back to what they were trying to do to stop the run. Balance to me is being able to do whatever they tell you got to do or whatever they're going to make you do, and that was really the approach we tried to take.
How important was it to get a clean win like this and be able to get some guys some rest and whatnot on such a short week?
Well, I'd like to think it'll help us on Thursday. That these guys, most of them play half of a game or maybe 3 quarters. I think we came out of it fairly healthy. Devin was a little banged up, but probably would have played had it been a close game. And I think he'll be fine for the most part. Everybody else came away from the games with just minor bumps and bruises. So maybe we'll look at it on the back end and see where it was a benefit. But it definitely couldn't have hurt us. And you never know. A lot of these guys that played significant snaps in the second half may have to step up and play somewhere down the next 5-6 game stretch. An injury here or there, and some of those guys thrown into a larger role that have not had a chance to play a whole lot. And not that they played great. We had a lot of bust, honestly, with those 2s and 3s. But those are things we can teach off of that you don't see in practice.
With that run versus pass, was that something you guys saw kind of before the game? Because it seemed like kind of coming out, you guys were pretty intent on throwing the ball. If they saw something that felt like you guys did.
Well, definitely thought they would struggle to match up with us outside, just speed-wise. We're healthy enough up front with Jamar, feeling good. We thought we could protect. Really kind of came out of last game wishing we would have and been able to throw the ball more against South Al, but just concerned about protection. And so we took similar game plan in and then decided to be aggressive. A lot of the stuff that you saw with the speed sweep and some of the condensed formations were about trying to get the ball into some guys' hands that we haven't taken advantage of. The wideouts you saw us just use them laterally a lot and move the chains that way. So it was a conscious effort to try to get them involved more and utilize our guys out in space, which we think is one of our biggest mismatches moving forward, and it proved to be tonight.
What did you hear on Devin?
It's a knee. We think it's just a medial knee kind of sprain, but it doesn't look to be significant. I'll know more tomorrow, but I think he'll be fine. Although Brandon came in and played well at center.
And when did you guys make the decision on Colton?
He just never really practiced other than in Thursday, which we're not in full pads, never really practiced full speed, and just felt like we'd go with Troy as long as he was effective, and he was. We need him down the stretch, so it was kind of a game time decision.
Did he ever finish that protocol, or is he still in?
He finished the protocol. Honestly, he had an ankle or foot problem bothering him on Wednesday, so he really didn't get any snaps there. It just kind of set us back a day or two. Bless you. Anybody else?
2 questions. Been a short week, kind of the practice schedule from tomorrow?
We'll put this one to bed quickly tomorrow evening. I'll deal with all of it myself, and then we'll go straight to Georgia State. Probably get a 45-minute walkthrough in tomorrow. That'll be it. Everything tomorrow will be about just getting their bodies, freshened up. We will practice Monday evening. It'll be probably 15 periods or so. We'll practice Tuesday, which is normal, but it'll be much shorter. And we'll get a jog-through practice on Wednesday morning before we travel. Same exact schedule we used a year ago against App State, with the exception of, App State, we were traveling back from Mobile, so we got back a lot later. And obviously the travel going to Boone was tougher. So, I think the travel will be easier on us. And, I think we stayed fairly healthy. So I'd like to think both those will play into, to our benefit.
How the ankle hold up tonight?
It's hurting pretty good, to be honest with you. But it held up, and I didn't get run over. I only got stepped on 2 or 3 times.
Thoughts on Darryl Rowan Davidson, the kick returner?
Yeah, he's gotten better each week. Once we kind of felt like it was time to move to him, and we felt that he was really ready to do so. His first kickoff return of the year that he got, he hit it downhill with, reckless abandon, and that's just something he is great at doing. And we've gotten better, I think, personnel-wise. I've been struggling to find the right, 10 guys to block for him, to be honest with you, with some of the guys we lost. And I get to pick last. I'm really picking from everybody that's left. And I think we found a group of guys that are playing hard, and they know he'll hit it, and you saw the evidence of that tonight. And that'd be huge if we can get back to what we're used to. We're top 8 in the country a year ago on kickoff return, and you get back to having that confidence, knowing you can move the ball past the 30, 35-yard line. It's a big step for the offense to get a first down or 2 without being on the field.
Overall, it was a pretty big performance by all your special teams.
Yeah, I thought they did well. We've found a way to move the ball, punting the ball, and taking some pressure off of the punter. There people are not getting a lot of returns. When they did try to return them, we were right there. Kickoff's been great all year. We've not really hit a big stride on punt return yet. But I think we're really, really close. I saw some improvement there, but it was a solid performance all the way across, and I just feel like down the stretch that's gonna come into play. It's gonna win or lose a game down the stretch, and Luke Pascal does a great job with that. He takes a lot of pride in preparing them, and our kids know how important it is. It was good to see him play well in there tonight.
Fast start, to be able to get the first couple of possessions, get on the board, kind of separate yourself. Defense last couple of weeks has looked great, but to have them play with a lead and quick scores, can you talk about that?
Well, it's huge when you go out there and you go down and move the ball, and you get points, and the defense is 3 and out, and you get the ball right back, and there's no doubt you don't want to let people hang around. You wanted to create some space between us and them. They've had a tough road. It's a road trip. You never know. Things change, and you have a turnover, or you stall, or you let them get a drive going. The momentum changes, and you see that every day. I thought it was big for us to come out. I challenged our guys. I wasn't real sure where our head was at. I have trouble reading this group going into a game. We've had a great week of work, but I wasn't real sure where their head was at today, and kind of challenged them to, hey, look, I'm worried that we're not focused on the job at hand, and they proved me wrong. So they told me they were ready. They obviously proved that they were.
You got it going on a fourth down. A fourth down, you call for it, and then you get one long, big play, and then you start getting more momentum. Is that kind of a game changer right there? A fourth down where you guys were to make a call like that?
Well, we were going against the wind and didn't feel real comfortable about kicking the ball, to be honest, and we're definitely not going to punt it. We're not going to gain anything by punting it at that point. I think anytime you move the ball on fourth down, it's a huge emotional lift for you offensively. Same thing if your defense gives up a fourth down play. It's tough to recover. Those drives tend to keep moving. So, at the time it was big, and it was a good play call, and we executed it well. And we didn't settle for a lot of field goals. We were able to move the ball and get the ball in the end zone early, especially, mainly before we started making substitutions. We're getting the ball in the end zone. And that's huge. That's huge. Our defense is making people kick, and we're scoring touchdowns. You're going to stretch it out, and you're going to have some comfort in the second half.
Warren Long in the receiving game. We know what he can do, but it's hard to bring that
Yeah.
guy down.
Can't see him about half the time. And he's stronger than you think. He just got such great center of gravity. I wasn't real fired up about him reaching the ball out over the goal line. That's one of those where you say, hey, great job, just don't do it again type things. But he was really hard on himself putting the ball on the ground early in the year. He's done a great job the last couple of weeks of working during the week and then also protecting the ball on game day. He'll also step up and hit you. When he's got to protect, he does a great job at it. So he's a complete player. Silky had a couple big runs as well. I thought, as a group, that whole group is working hard.
In regards to potential, did you see kind of glimpses of that in the first half at times, just kind of all around?
Glimpses of
Just kind of what you guys can be, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, I still think we're an accident waiting to happen at times. We're just not as consistent as we can be. But yeah, you saw the first half, defense playing well, special teams getting what they needed to get done, offense moving the ball on third down, finishing drives, throwing and catching. I mean, there's a lot of positive things happening in the first half that we've not done at the same time in the past. Defense is playing well, offense struggled. Offense playing well, special teams struggled. To get them all three together, that was our most complete half of football, without a doubt, that we've played all year. And I'd like to think it's something we can build off of, no doubt.
Coach, how proud of you, how proud of your guys were you in a game that got out of hand, got ugly, was getting chippy, a team that's kind of going through a tough season
Yeah.
on the other sideline, for you guys to handle that pretty well? Because for the most part, they did handle that well.
Yeah, it was. We talked about at halftime that this group really doesn't have a whole lot to lose. Just be smart. We walked away from it, all night. It's one of those things that you always kind of expect. And this, I'll be honest with you, Monroe has always played us kind of chippy, and so I was keeping an eye on it, and really didn't see a whole lot of areas where he had to jump in. Guys, they walked away from it, so it was big because we've had trouble with that in the past. We got some emotional guys, and they don't back down from a challenge very often. And I'd like to think we're getting smarter about some of those decisions.
You guys talked about wanting to create turnovers on defense, had the 2 interceptions tonight as well. How's that help moving forward?
Well, to me, it becomes contagious, and I think part of that kind of stems from last week where we were able to create the turnovers a week ago. And the pressure up front was one of the issues. Pressure up front was one of the issues they had, forced some throws that they shouldn't have. Short field, quick sudden change, potential of putting our offense back on the field in a good position is big.
Anything else for Coach, guys?
Thanks, Coach.
Both offensively and defense.
It felt good, really. Definitely boosted confidence going into the next game. Because the previous game we had a lot of mistakes that has set us back confidence-wise, but I feel like this one definitely gonna boost our confidence.
Yeah, I just reiterate what Kyle said. This is probably the game that we had the least amount of mistakes or busts in the back end and up front, and so we know when we play mistake-free, it's hard for teams to move the ball on us, and so we just want to focus on not beating ourselves.
Blades, take us through the play. You got the interception.
It was just a normal play. We had 2 verticals to the field, and the quarterback kind of overthrew the inside guy, so I just broke on the ball and then was able to make a play. I think somebody got pressure. I'm not sure which D lineman it was. I think forced him into a bad throw. I think it might have been D liner. I'm not positive, but the guys got pressure and then forced the quarterback into a bad throw and just was able to make a play.
Both of you guys, y'all feel like the defense is kind of coming together with this stretch of run you're on right now?
Definitely, yeah. Probably could still do better, but that'll come as we continue to play games. But we definitely feeling together now.
Yeah, I'd agree as well. Just the more experience we get with each other, I feel like the better we play, the better we communicate, and the better we communicate, the less chances for mistakes.
Let's talk about these last 3 weeks. I mean, that front end has been getting a lot more pressure for you guys, and the impact that that's had for you guys on the back end.
That's a major impact for us. The quicker they can get back there, or the more duress they can put the quarterback under, usually forces them to make mistakes. And so it helps us out a lot. It makes us have to cover less time, and also forces quarterbacks to speed up their decision-making process, and which obviously leads to turnovers sometimes for us. So we're definitely thankful for them and their pass rush and the time that they've spent over the summer and fall camp to get better and to be able to do that for us.
Blaze, you said you guys have confidence that if you play mistake-free, then you're pretty confident what the results are going to be. Where does that come from? Does that go all the way back to last year, considering how well you guys played against teams in the conference, and now that you're in the conference, that confidence is there? Or?
Yeah, I think so, and I also think it's just we see it day in and day out in practice, fall camp, even over summer, whenever everybody lines up and each person does their individual job. Our offense and other offenses, we feel like don't get 1 or 2 yards or whatever, but we don't ever have any big plays or anything like that. And so we just know that as long as everybody does their job, then we'll be all right and we can live with the results.
They played 2 quarterbacks. Did your guys' plan change at all depending on who was in there, or did you guys just play the offense?
Not really. Everybody's assignments kind of stayed the same. We knew if Six got in the game, he could scramble a little better, and so we knew that he might pull it a little more on the read option. But even when the other quarterback was in, we still have a quarterback player and a dive player, so it didn't really change the scheme, but we knew the tendencies changed a little bit.
What was it like playing with OE? I mean, the offense, first couple possessions, where you're punching in, it gives you guys a better opportunity when this tone set. And what was it like out there playing with that comfortable lead?
Oh, it was definitely good, but you still got to keep your foot on the pedal and just try to get off the field, get the ball back to them so they can continue to stay in their flow and put more points on the board.
Yeah, it's always good whenever they can score quick and get up. Normally, when they get up early on somebody, it kind of forces them out of what they like to do, and they have to play catch-up, so they might have to speed up their tempo, or they might have to throw the ball a little more than they would like to. So it helps us a lot. It allows the D-line to pin their ears and kind of go after the QB a little more aggressively, and lets us play a little more aggressively in the back end as well.
Did it provide you guys with more energy?
I would say probably a little bit so, but we always try to go out there and we don't like giving up points. We want to try to get a shutout every night, and so that's our goal. That's what we strive for, and so that's what we try to accomplish, whether offense is scoring or not. Because we believe as long as we keep a 0 on the board, then it's impossible for us to lose. And so as long as we shut them out, then we don't have to worry about if offense scores or not.
Anything else, guys?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Guys.
Felt really good. We knew we were capable of this all season, and it was really good. One night to really finally hit on all cylinders.
What kind of defense were they showing, where they were vulnerable to the pass?
We knew they blitzed a lot and left themselves in man-to-man coverage. And as you guys know, we got a lot of talent at the receiver position, so we knew it was going to be one-on-one outside.
So was that something that you guys obviously saw pregame and going into tonight? That was kind of the plan, right? I imagine.
Yeah. Knowing that they blitz, and then like I said, them leaving them man-to-man outside. Get a deep drop and get the ball out of my hands.
What's that feeling for you? 2 weeks ago you threw the ball 13 times. Just kind of knowing that plan is there.
Yeah. kind of like I said that same weekend here, just win, just get it done. Didn't throw it much the last game we had, but rushed it a lot, and then this game being able to throw it around. So, I also think that's what makes our team dangerous. We can do a little bit of everything.
Warren, it seemed like they were keying on not only you but all the running backs in the running game. But you had a lot of success in the passing game as well. Talk about that if you don't mind.
We knew coming into the game they blitzed a lot, and so we depended on us picking up a lot since, we had to protect the QB and just do our job. We knew if they didn't blitz at the time, then we were able to get out, and every time I was able to get out, I was open.
On that first touchdown, who was covering you, or was anybody?
I'm not sure.
Justice, for you, just speak about what a game like this does for your confidence, where you throw the ball 36 times, it's a clean game, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about what it does for your confidence.
It does a lot for the confidence, and a lot just with rhythm. Being able to come out here and kind of have the offense move like it did today, and then having a short week going into Thursday. Hopefully we can just keep that rolling on Thursday. So, I thought it was big for confidence and rhythm and everything.
That first touchdown, 4th down, you guys go for it. Coach said, you didn't want to settle for 3, and you didn't like the win situation. I felt like that was a game changer right there because the game gave you guys a lot of momentum. Can you talk about that? That was huge. It was 4th and 5, I think.
Yeah. I figured Coach would leave us out on the field, especially that being the first drive, and we were moving the ball. I missed a couple plays, so it was really just about executing the play.
What was it like, though, having that go for 6? Because, it wasn't just moving the chains. It was a 4th and 5, you hit the 6. The crowd kind of got into it, and I felt like you guys scored the next drive. It felt like that momentum carried with you.
Yeah, definitely. We had a good game plan going into the week, so we kind of knew what was going to be there, and it was on that play.
Warren, Halloween, you turned into Superman. You jumped, leaped single bound. Talk about he's got the Clark Kent glasses going.
We decided to run the ball. In a couple of series before that, we tried to run it in, and I had to bounce it, and I wasn't able to get it in. And so, they were giving me, crap for that. And I got another chance, and I knew we were blocking it the same way, just going to have to run hard and, find a way in. And, the line blocked it up and saw a pile, and I don't know.
Coach said, don't ever do it again. I mean,
I'm sure he said that because, he told me about it after he walked off the field, and he probably not one hand, probably 2 hands. So
I want him to do it again. That was awesome. He said, just like he said, it was the same look that he'd given. I just handed it off to him, and the same thing. I kind of peeked back. There's a big pile up, and I'm like, well, what's Warren going to do this time? I mean, the second that crossed my mind, this dude is through the air. Russ put his hands up, I jog off. So. About that simple.
For you guys, we talked to Coach Anderson about this a little bit, but it was pretty chippy. Monroe was pretty chippy tonight, and you guys did a very good job as a team of not getting too involved in that. Just talk a little bit about that.
I think that, those are the little things I think that go unnoticed a lot of the time. Our first few games, we were getting involved with that and having a ton of those penalties. So, I think it was really big, and it showed a lot just from a maturity standpoint of staying out of those kind of dumb penalties.
You guys got Chris Murray was back tonight, and Jamar was a little bit better than he was 2 weeks ago. I mean, was there any sort of relief or kind of extra confidence just knowing kind of with personnel you guys were kind of full strength tonight as much as you had been in a while?
Yeah, I think so. And then again, just believing in Coach's game plan, and the week before was just more about running. We got up on them, and we relied on the defense the last game, and we just kind of rolled with it this week.
What's that do for the confidence of the offense? Last game you run the ball all over somebody. This game you throw the ball all over them. What does that do moving forward for you guys?
I think more than anything, it just gives us confidence. Knowing that's the most points I think we put up all season. So basically, just confidence.
You guys as players are pretty much creatures of habit. You're so used to a normal schedule. You've had 2 games where you've had 10 days in between. You just come off a bye week here, but now it shortens up. You guys prefer the bye week or the short week?
After the performance like tonight, I'll take the short week, just because, you know, I think we did a lot of good things today. So, I mean, honestly, the sooner we get back on the field and, you know, hopefully do the same thing we did tonight, the better.
Warren, you were used some as a receiver in high school, weren't you?
Yes.
You have a lot of confidence in that area, just kind of waiting for your opportunity here. I don't think you've really thrown the ball to you a whole lot.
You know, I mean, as a running back, there's not always like certain plays, you know, you just, hey, you're going to catch the ball on this. But, you know, we work on hands every day, and just being prepared and knowing that we're his last option, that when we're his last option, we have to make it happen and we have to catch the ball and get what we can get.
Were you kind of ready, though, tonight, knowing the game plan, knowing what ULM was bringing, you kind of ready to see a few of those passes?
Most definitely, you know, just off the play action and getting out there, we executed it really well, and he got pressured and dumped it off, and I was able to go get the yards.
How much fun is it for you once you get it and you're a special player when you're in the open field? I mean, you're hard to kind of spot, so when you're kind of in between, once you break that first, I didn't mean any offense by it, but
It's okay.
So once you're in that open field, I mean, there was the touchdown, but also at the end of the first quarter that set up the second, or was it the third touchdown?
Right.
Because when we went to switch fields.
Right.
Those were big pass plays.
Yeah.
What is it like for you, you know, taking a handoff as compared to once you're in the open field on a pass play? I mean, is there much difference?
For me, not much of a difference, you know. I mean, just having the ability to catch the ball naturally and, you know, just having confidence in catching the ball because, you know, sometimes when it's coming to you, you're alone and you're like, don't drop it, you know, you need this. But, I mean, it's the same thing with the handoff. You got to secure it and just run the ball.
What's it like for you when you're in that open field? It seems like you have another gear.
It's just daylight. Sometimes it's run for your life. Sometimes it's score. You know, just follow your blocks and get what you can.
Anything else, guys?
Thanks, gentlemen.